All right, we have Youssef Zalal back on the show after picking up a big win over Austin Lingo in his short notice Octagon debut on Saturday at UFC 247. He did everything he said he would do, including his post-fight interview, which we'll get into in a moment. Youssef, how are you, man?
I'm pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Congratulations on the win. You said that essentially you've been a part of the UFC machine cornering guys before. This was all nothing new to you in that aspect, but you know, going in there and fighting for the UFC, getting a win on short notice, has it all sunk in for you since it seemed like it all came and went very quickly?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was definitely, I didn't believe it, even when I signed the contract and all that, I was still like in shock. That's why I was like, I'm not going to celebrate this until after the fight. You know what I mean? I got a job to do right now. So I'm focusing on that first. So it was not like that crazy, like I know I belonged in there and I know what it takes to get in there. So it was just another day for me.
Was it like your wedding day in a way? Like, hopefully you weren't getting punched in the face at your wedding, but like, you know what I mean? Like how it just comes, there's all these different emotions going in and probably the most important day of your life as a professional. It happened. And then as quickly as it started, it was over. Is that a good analogy on my part?
I mean, I can say so. Yeah. I mean, like it's definitely crazy emotions, but we're professionals. You gotta learn how to control your emotions and get the emotions out at the right time. So that was my case in the UFC debut.
You looked very sharp in the fight. You started off early. Those knees in the first round were busting them up. And, Lingo, as you expected, very, very tough guy. You continued to score throughout the 15 minutes. You were mixing it up very well. I know you were looking for the finish. You're always looking for the finish. But how would you grade your performance overall on Saturday?
Oh, God. I mean, I don't know, man. I'll give myself a B. I don't know. I feel like I needed to do more. But, hey, I got the win, and my coaches are happy with it. Everybody's happy with it, so I'm happy with it. But I'm still I'm getting a little pissed when I don't get submissions and stuff like that. So I guess that's just me.
So I want to sort of rewind to Friday if I could, because James Krause was in Houston to corner you, and after the weigh-ins, we found out that Antonio Arroyo was sent to the hospital and Trevin Giles was without an opponent, and hours later we find out that James was being discussed to take the fight and then ultimately got it. Like, I'm sure you were like, hell yeah, man, go get it, but talk about how you found out what was going on and that whole thing from your perspective.
We were eating lunch together, so this was after the weigh-ins. We left the weigh-ins right away. I ate the meals they gave me, trifecta. We hanged out a little bit, and the coaches were hungry. I was like, oh, I'm hungry too, so let's go. And the manager was with us. The same manager manages me and James Krause, Jason House. So we were eating lunch, and he was like, oh, yeah, the guy is like, they got him to the hospital and all this. He's out. And then Krause was like, well, I'll take it. Out of nowhere, just like out of nowhere. So I was like, but we were just focused on we had to be back at the weigh-ins for the ceremonial weigh-ins to go at 3:30. So they were still figuring all that stuff out. We were heading to the venue. And then all of a sudden we get a text in the group text, the fight is on. We'll see you in a little bit. And I'm like, what? What's going on here? And then I was like, it was a great moment for him, man. I was very happy for him.
James obviously one of the, he's a great fighter, but he's also one of the best coaches and cornermen probably in the entire sport right now. So of course that's missing from your fight and that side of things, but obviously great for him to take this opportunity. He's such a gangster, and I think his stock rose probably more than anybody's on Saturday. That includes Dominic Reyes, but seeing a guy like that who's so important in the gym and so important to you, it was supposed to corner you, but seeing him step up and do something like that, something we've never seen in the UFC before. Although you lost him from the corner, how much extra motivation and inspiration did that give you?
Oh man, it's a ton. Like I said it before, man. When I see my friends shine, it's like, I don't know if you see my last post. I was like, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. So that's the guys that I hang out with. That's the guys that I train with. And that's the guys I fight with basically. So it's like the best motivation you can ever get.
In hindsight, sort of looking back on the night overall and all the controversy that happened, and it was a pretty clear win for you on probably everybody's scorecards watching that fight, but how happy are you that you just got to fight first so you didn't have to see any of the scoring and the questionable judging at all?
Like, sorry for cussing. That was some bullshit ass judging, bro. It was terrible. My boy Martinez should have won that fight, no problem. Even Krause, how do you give the guy the first round? That makes no sense. Like literally makes no sense. But I was happy, and I thought I was like the judges are doing great. I was like, they give me a unanimous decision, 30-27. I was like, all right, cool. They're on something. And then as soon as the Martinez goes up, because I couldn't watch the whole fight, I had to do the interviews the whole time. So like I was like, can I watch the fight? He's like, no, we gotta go, we gotta go. So I'm like, all right. So I'm like doing the interview, and I'm watching on TV like this. Like I'm watching like this. Oh, yeah, I'm answering the question. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh fuck, I didn't even watch the third round, so I didn't even know what happened. But as soon as I heard the decision and I seen all the comments and online and stuff, so I was like, what's going on here? And then poor Jonathan was walking in crying and stuff like that. That's not like you messing with another man's future. So that's not cool. So that was very hurtful, man.
Did you go back and watch the fight after the fact?
Yeah, yeah. I watched my fight and his fight.
I had scored it for Jonathan watching it on Saturday. I haven't gone back and watched it since. And I thought it was a close fight. I thought he won. I don't think the loss overall is the biggest issue here. I think the 30-27 scorecard for Andre is the big sticking point right now. And it seems like you and Andre may be heading for a little bit of a collision course here. That's the fight. It seems like you want, drop to 35, something you plan on doing anyways, get one back for your teammate. Is that accurate? You feel like you want to get that one back for Jonathan?
No, I don't care. I'll fight him. I'll show him the real judges. I'll finish his ass. I don't need no judges. At 35, I'm 35. I'm an animal at 35.
Yeah, because you're still planning on doing that anyways,
Yeah,
regardless, right?
yeah. So we'll see. We'll see where the career goes. But hey, at 35, give me that guy. I don't care.
I
But
actually
Jonathan
talk.
beat him. Jonathan beat him. So I was like, it makes literally it's the stupidest thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. There was a lot of questionable decisions on Saturday night
Yeah,
and
it was
questionable
like
individual
five split
scorecards.
decisions. They had five split decisions on that card.
Yeah,
Like I don't think I ever seen that many split decisions in my whole fighting career.
I think we're going to see 3 appeals out of this. I know Jonathan's one of them. I'm pretty sure Krause is appealing his, and I don't know. I
Oh
don't think
God.
he wanted to do it specifically, but I think Jason did. And Andrea Lee's going to appeal hers.
Yeah, how did she lose the fight? I didn't even know what happened. I was like, what? Man, this is a brutal. This is the hurt business, like they say. You actually get hurt by the judges.
So you just need
How
to
is
fight
that?
first every time.
Oh God.
So
Yeah,
after you get the win and they judge it correctly, you talk to Joe Rogan and you did what you said you were gonna do. You shouted out Brandon Royval. It was very Uriah Faberish of you to do that. How cool is that for you? Just standing in there, getting interviewed by Rogan, and having that platform just to shout out your partner in crime, just like you talked about.
Oh, it was pretty cool, man. I was like that's why I was like, oh, I'm talking to Joe Rogan. What's up, baby? I was like, it's a pretty cool moment. But I was like, I'm trying to take it all in. And I was like, we got more to do. And so I was like, hey, man, I gotta call out the guys that deserve to be there. A lot of flyweights are not on Brandon's level. They're really not. So I really want to see him get in there, man. I would love to see him get in there as soon as possible.
And I like the Ewell idea, and I think it's cool for you too because you only have the one fight in the UFC, and most fighters don't feel like they're in a position to start calling people out after one fight, but you have one essentially like right there for you that makes a lot of sense and has a story behind it. How nice is that knowing that, I mean, whatever they give you, you're going to take anyways, but knowing that there's already something sort of in place here that just makes life a little bit easier.
I mean, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how many people are in the bantamweight. So I don't. I mean, whatever, man. I was like I said, I'm not. I'm not the guy who calls out people and do this, and that. But I said it in the interview. I was like, I'll fight him. I don't care. Like it was like the Kraus. Like when he says, "Oh, I'll fight at a short notice, stepping up a weight class." That's pretty much what I did. I was like, I'll fight him. I was like, I don't care. I was like, yeah, don't be super. He seems pretty happy, like crazy, super happy. Like I understand you won, but come on, man, don't lie to yourself. You didn't win that fight.
I have to ask, like, did you at least get a chance to watch the main event during the post fight celebration at all?
Oh yeah, we watched everything. We watched the whole card back on in the green room. We're just eating and watching the whole fight card. So
How'd you score it?
Bro, uh, I mean, I understand the word they saying. You gotta to beat the champ. You really gotta take it from the champ. But I don't know, man. I'll say I was pretty close. I was pretty close. I don't know, man. I would say Reyes could probably win it. I would probably say I would probably give it to Reyes, but especially the first. I feel like the first 3 rounds he was coming in for some blood, but the champ came back. I feel like the last 2 rounds, but I would say Reyes, to be honest.
Yeah, that's one of those fights that I think everyone needs to watch multiple times. Like
Yeah, it's
Saturday, I'm recapping it, so I'm watching it, but I'm also like typing out what's happening at the same time. And I had scored it exactly like you did, 1, 2, and 3. I thought they were not only did I feel Reyes won, I thought they were like clear round wins. And then Jones won 4 and 5. Like I was like, all right, where's the controversy here? And then I went back and watched it again, and I turned the commentary off, and I really focused on round 2 in particular because I saw so many people. I thought the third round was the closest, but a lot of people are saying that the second round was the closest. And I'm like, what freaking fight are you watching? So I went back and watched it without the commentary on. I really watched it closely. And I was like, okay, I get it. I understand why. Because Reyes had that flurry and it looked like he had John hurt. And, even Rogan's like, he's hurt. And he's unloading. But if you really watch closely, John's avoiding most of those. Like it was like a Floyd Mayweather type thing where his defensively, he was great. And I'm like, I still had scored it for Dominic, but it was a closer fight than I actually originally thought it was.
Hey man, that's why I'm not a judge.
Oh, thank God. That has to be.
I feel like it's a lawyer thing, like you solve a case and nobody likes it. Now you got all these things at you, so I'm like, I'm good.
It's the worst job ever. It's the worst job
yeah.
in sports. Who wants to be an MMA judge? Like if you're a 12-year-old and you wake up and you go to career day and teacher asks you, what do you want to be when you grow up? Who's going to say I'm going to be an MMA judge where it's the most thankless job in sports. Like no one's going to say,
God.
Hey, great job on that 30-27 decision for Youssef. You got it right, man. Let's write an article about you. It's all about the
hurt business. I'll tell you that. That's the hurt business for sure. Especially in that part, man. I was like, they playing with the people's checks, man. That's not like, they got families to feed as much as you, And like what Krause said in his interview, it's like no matter what, they're getting paid the same check, They don't get paid like, I don't know, maybe they get paid if they scored it somewhere different, Maybe the odds are different, maybe they get paid. I don't know, who knows? That's it's like boxing, like old school boxing, the bets and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. It's just not it's not cool, man.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case. I'm sure they're not making very much, but
I hope they get it back to non-contest for Jonathan and Krause, man.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how these all play out. No doubt about that.
Yes.
Jonathan's very confident this is getting overturned.
Jason is on it too, and coach our head coach too, Mark Montoya. He's on it.
I talked to Jonathan yesterday. That was the most I've ever heard him speak.
Oh yeah, he's a little out there. He's a little pissed, but
in a perfect world, when would you like to come back? Do you have a sort of a ballpark time frame in mind?
Fuck, man. I know Ramadan is coming up on April, I think 24th, something like that. So I would like to fight before that, but we'll see. We'll see how the cards are. I know most cards are full, but we'll see. I'll stay ready for short notice if I have to, but we'll see. I just want to get a fight before that so I can go back and spend some time in Morocco with my family.
Yeah, maybe the Portland card would make sense. April 11th. That's kind of right in that wheelhouse, right?
Hey, let's do it. Hell yeah. I'm super down.
There you go. Great stuff, Youssef. Congratulations on the win. Very excited to see what is next for you. I think the Ewell fight actually makes a lot of sense, but I'm sure you don't care either way. But before we let you go, let the folks know.
Matchmaking out here.
It just makes sense. Like the matchmaking has to be a terrible job too, and especially with 600 freaking fighters on the roster, and now you have one that's like right there.
You about to give me a fight just today. Yeah, now.
There we go. I like when things just sort of fall into place. This never happens, especially a guy coming off his debut like this.
That is true. I don't know. The hype, like, it was so crazy. Like, all the Moroccans were like, I got out of nowhere. And I was like, was like, oh my god, like I represent Morocco all the time. Like that's that's my country. But I was like, holy crap, the support is ridiculous. It's like these guys really support their athletes. So I was very happy and very proud to carry that flag with me in the octagon.
Maybe maybe there'll be a UFC card in Morocco down the road. You got to be on
Hey,
that one.
let's go.
Let the folks know, man, where they can find and follow you on the web, social media, any other shout outs, anything else you want to get off your chest, man. The floor is yours.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me again. I appreciate you. You guys can follow me at the Instagram at the Moroccan Devil, Twitter at Moroccan Devil 35. That's that's actual 35 now, so we'll keep that one there. And then yeah, you guys can follow my fan page in Facebook, Youssef Zalal, or my personal Facebook, Youssef Zalal. So, a big shout out to everybody in my family, my team, Factory X, my strength conditioning coaches, Ogden Wrigley, my management team, man. They're the best management team in the world. I can't do it without them, Big shout out to my wife and all my family. My dad was screaming his lungs out every fight. So he's a very out there supporter. So I can't appreciate him enough. But yeah, and all the guys back home, man, they were watching it since I don't even know what time it was down there. So I can't thank him enough. My mom and everybody, they were so nervous and all that. So it was a dope experience.
Amazing stuff, Youssef. Congratulations on the win. Enjoy it, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.
All right,
Maybe
take
we'll
care,
get
bro.
that fight. And then we'll talk to you. I'm like, you called it out.
I'm willing it into existence, man. That's what we're trying to do.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.